First of all, let me emphasize this issue of Ithala in the sense that one of the most important considerations that made us, as the leadership of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal, to move with speed in terms of this intervention is that around March, we paid a courtesy call to His Majesty the King Misizulu, who told us that we need to save Ithala. So for us as the ANC, who are rooted in traditional leadership, as you know, that one of the kings of KwaZulu-Natal, His Majesty King Dinizulu, was an honorary president of the ANC when it was founded in 1912. That message from His Majesty the King Misizulu, we regarded it as an instruction. So our meetings with the Minister of Finance has culminated in a decision that he has made to rescue Ithala by issuing a guarantee of all the depositors of Ithala, regardless of how much they've deposited there. But all those details about the nitty-gritties of it, National Treasury, as well as the provincial officials in these coming days will be finalizing them. But the big ticket issue of the future of Ithala has been resolved completely and to our satisfaction. So all depositors of Ithala in KwaZulu-Natal, wherever they are, in the deep rural areas of KwaZulu-Natal or in townships, their monies are saved, and this Ithala will continue to operate as it has previously, but now with a renewed focus on the integrity of processes, ensuring transparency, ensuring ethical disbursement of funds, as well as proper methods in line with the Reserve Bank regulations.
Well, I think let me add through you what Bongani has said. And I think just to sharpen the point that Bongani has made very clear, in terms of the agreement that we have reached with the Minister of Finance, he will now provide a guarantee for all depositors, rather than only for those whose deposits are up to 100,000. So the initial indication that the minister could only provide a guarantee for those depositors who are up to 100,000. Now the new arrangement then says all depositors will be given a guarantee, which is, we regard this agreement as a game changer, because in its essence, what it does, this agreement therefore removes the presence of the Prudential Authority, which still means that the Prudential Authority will have to cease its liquidation action against Ithala Stock Limited, because we must be clear we're talking about Ithala Stock Limited. So this then also puts into very clear perspective the issue which is a pending matter. In other words, there is an appeal that the repayment administrator, the RA, was granted by the Pietermaritzburg High Court to appeal that judgment. The Prudential Authority lost the liquidation action, but then they succeeded in actually taking the appeal to the ACA. In terms of this agreement, that now, if the RA continues with that appeal, it will now become an academic exercise, because it will have no bearing in affecting the operations of Ithala going forward. So for us, this is our victory, because it's a victory of the people of KwaZulu-Natal, because it is also a victory for the unit of purpose. And as Bongani has indicated, everyone from His Majesty the King all political parties and all political formation in this province, in particular, those who are represented in the legislature, were all unanimous in taking one common position, that we will not allow Ithala to be liquidated or closed. But it was left to us as the ANC to take this baton and to be able to stand on the side of the people, which we have said from day one when we were appointed. And we are almost very proud as the ANC that we have stood firm on that commitment, that this matter of Ithala should then be resolved in a manner that, first of all, protects the interest of all depositors in Ithala. But we don't end there, because this is phase one. As Bongane has indicated, the next phase is a phase where we'll be putting forward a strategic plan with options for positioning Ithala as a financial institution for the future. And as the ANC, we intend to pursue this by crafting our own plan, but our plan will also then be discussed with our partners in the government of provincial unity, because it is important that this matter is one matter where it unites all of us. And therefore, we will pursue the future of Ithala based on the unity of purpose with those with whom we govern this province. And to come in, Pungana, and you can add. The ANC is very clear, and we are clear from day one when we were appointed as the provincial task team, that ours is about the issues of our people. And this is one of the issues of our people. And we are not dealing with this issue of our people solely because we think it is going to give us votes. We are dealing with this issue of our people because it affects the rural women that have deposited their money into Ithala. It affects the poor farmers that have deposited. It affects the savings clubs that have deposited. It affects the township dweller. It affects each and every one who was unbanked and where they were banked through Ithala. So for us, it's a far more deeper issue than the issue of political gain. But of course, when our people see the good work that we are always on their side, it will be a reasonable expectation that our people will know that the ANC cares and the ANC will always stand with them in times of difficulties. Bunga.
You want to follow up? Okay, let's take that as oh, there's another hand. Let's take the follow-up and then start with next.
So do you think that the people in KZN will still have faith in the ANC, regardless of the issues that has been going on?
Okay, all right. The question is noted.
Yes, my name is Clive from the Witness newspaper. My apologies, I arrived late, so I might have missed some of the things, and my question will be maybe in the statement that you just read. I just wanted to check, you mentioned a lot about
On the last issue of Ithala, that's why we said that the main threat of the total liquidation of Ithala has been averted. It will not be liquidated. I want to repeat. Ithala will not be liquidated. It has been saved. So going forward now, those are the steps that now have to be taken between National Treasury and the officials of KwaZulu-Natal to make sure that all those identified weaknesses in Ithala are addressed, so that at the end of the day, Ithala must be beautified so that it must have all the prerequisites of a financial institution, including getting a license. As you know, in previous occasions, they were operating in terms of an exemption from the Minister of Finance. So the big assignment now begins of ensuring that we put Ithala in a state that will be able to operate like any financial institution. So we'll appeal, therefore, to all those who are responsible for the administration as well as the oversight responsibility of Ithala to leave no stone unturned in ensuring that all those requirements are met with speed, because our people can no longer afford a delay in these matters.
On the issue, Ithala, he covered it too, but I think I want to add to this element. When we say this has been the first phase, because the second phase is looking at those options and how we can position Ithala better going into the future. And we do take that there now needs to be able to, we need now to put a strategic plan with options. Because the option is about what can we want to, how do we want to reposition Ithala? And that we as the ANC have our own ideas. And we will be able to input those ideas through the government of provincial unity, as I've already said. So it's very clear to us that going forward, we all would want to have a better, well-repositioned Ithala. Thank you.